Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode of Creep It Weird.
Oh, I'm so excited. Trying to hold it in.
I'm Liss.
And I'm Natty. We got that out of the way. All right.
Woo!
So step one, introduce ourselves. Got it. Woo! This one wasn't painful, so I'll take it.
We each had our own podcast, but there was a proposal. Little marriage happened.
Yep.
behind the
Yep.
scenes.
There's a little marriage, and we came together and created a podcast baby.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a piece of each of our original podcasts and melt them together, add a little spice, and this is what we get. So let's see here. My stuff is primarily going to be cryptid based. And yours is going to be
Like paranormally, creepypasta, maybe some historical weird stuff. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, weird, dark humor, dark history, random weird facts that make you go, what the just happened? Yeah, it's pretty much going to sum it up. So I guess here we are. The first one's going to be a little bit different. Typically, we're going to be rotating out. I'm going to be bringing the goods on one end. The next week, Melissa's going to be bringing the goods on that end. This time, we're going to give you a little taste of both just so that you can kind of know what to expect, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at your cup. Little alien guy.
Oh, so this cup was given to me by a podcaster that I was on their show. It's the Ancient Enigma Files. It kind of looks like a penis, though.
That is so cute.
It looks like, does it not look like a penis head?
A little, now that you said that. I didn't see it before, but now I do.
Drinking my dick. Here, let me turn it the right way.
Drinking my dick.
I wish everybody could see this. This is fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Well, when we get Patreon up and running, we're going to have videos over there for our Patreons.
Ooh, yeah. And we'll be able to, I was going to ask you, well, we could talk about this later. We're recording, so we can do the rest at the end. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, so for my first story, I don't know, I am going to be doing a creepypasta. The Black-Eyed Children.
Oh, this is what you're bringing?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. She's bringing the shit right out the gate. Okay.
The good stuff. Yep.
Man, this is a good first time. Usually they're not that good. You know what I mean? Sorry. Horrible.
Memorable, but not good. Yeah. So they are thought to be paranormal entities or creatures that resemble ordinary children, usually ranging in age between 6 and 16. Why did I write that twice? And they look and sound like regular children, except for the fact that they have pale skin and completely unnaturally black eyes.
I've already got questions. Would you like for me to hold my questions till the end or ask as they come?
It's up to you. We can do a question and answer, like a thing at the end, or we can go as we go. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll have to note my questions if we go. I'll see if I have anything.
Okay. We could make that a thing. Like we discuss it, like the facts. And then at the end, we talk about like theories and stuff, like make it kind of our.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Deal.
The children are said to wear clothes that don't quite fit this era. Dated clothing or clothes that are not quite age appropriate. I know that sounds weird. Like clothes that an older person might wear, like a 7-year-old might be wearing a plaid suit or a tuxedo.
Maybe he's just coming back from church.
Could be, except for the black eye thing. Often seen asking for help, whether money, favors, or hitchhiking, like asking for a ride or knocking at your front door. People who have come in contact with these children report feeling uneasy or just having this dark aura surrounding the children dark aura surrounding the children while in their presence? Having this dark aura surrounding them while the children are in their presence?
As an energy person, that totally tracks for me. I understand what that means.
But just how I worded it did not sound right at all.
Oh.
I know what I meant to say, but words, no work. My mouth.
Words, no work.
Do you remember that episode in The Office when Kevin wanted to shorten all of his words?
Oh my God, that's exactly what I thought of too. Words, no work.
Even though the children are said to look pretty normal except for the whole eye thing, their eyes don't they don't usually let you see their eyes right away. They evade your glance at first. Like they'll try to lower your guard before they let you see their eyes. This story is considered a creepy pasta, but some people that have encountered these children claim that they are actually real and they're a real entity that's out there. Like the story of an elderly couple that was awoken in the middle of the night when they heard three loud bangs on their door. Once they looked outside, they saw two small children who asked if they could wait inside until their ride came. Which, I mean, this couple saw a few kids in the middle of the night. It's instinct to protect children. The couple was a little wary of the whole situation, but they did end up letting the children in.
Ah, rookie mistake.
Once inside, the wife went to go make the kids some hot chocolate while the husband was just chatting with the children, asking a few questions, whatever, like, how you doing? But the kids, instead of responding, they just stared straight ahead, ignoring him.
Rude.
While this was going on, the family's cat was in the corner of the room, fully arched back, hissing. The children did eventually ask the man if they could both use the bathroom, like at the same time. And the wife at this point noticed the eyes of the children. She kept her cool. She led the children to the bathroom and then she ran back to her husband to be like, to tell him what she saw.
Something's not right. Yeah.
Yeah. And her husband, who was standing there, he was cupping blood that was pouring out of his nose before his wife could even say anything. Her husband asked, "Did you see their eyes?"
Mm.
Just then, the lights went out and the children appeared right in front of the couple. The children declared, "Our ride is here."
Mm.
Then they opened the front door, left it wide open, and walked to the bottom of the driveway where a car was waiting, along with two thin, tall men dressed in all black. The men and the children entered the car and drove off. Over the next several weeks, the power would go on and off, and the family's cat was found deceased in a puddle of its own blood.
I'm making notes here.
Oh, you're just notating your questions?
Yes, I am. I'm making lots of notes.
The husband's nosebleed turned out to be a rare form of cancer.
Jesus.
There was another case. This is probably the most infamous case encounter with the black eyed children. In 1996, a Texas reporter named Brian Bethel had just gotten off of work. He was sitting in his car, and he had this strange feeling wash over him. Oh, you know this one?
Yeah, I know this one.
He looked up to find a few young children had approached his car window. He described the kids as one having red hair and freckles, and the other having olive skin and curly hair, looking around 10 years old, according to Bethel.
I like to point out it wasn't me.
He cracked the window a little, unsure about what was happening, and the children asked if he could give them a ride to one of their parents' house so they could ask for money to get tickets for the movie Mortal Kombat. One of the children said, yeah, one of the children asked about the ride, and the other chimes in, "We can't come in unless you let us in."
Ugh.
"It's okay, let us in."
Mm-mm.
When the children spoke, something felt off again, giving him this uneasy feeling that the children sounded older than they were, like the way they spoke. His unease only heightened
Mm-hmm.
after he noticed the movie times, and the movie they wanted to see had already started. The kids quickly got agitated and said, "It won't take long. We're just two kids." In an attempt to ease Bethel's concern, they chimed in that we don't have a gun or anything.
The last thing someone would say if they didn't actually have a gun.
It was like what the kids were saying and the way that the children spoke. He said it was more like a person trying to it was something trying to impersonate a human, robotic like.
Mm.
And that's when he noticed the children's eyes. No whites, no pupils, just completely and unnaturally black. He was like, "Nope." He rolled up his window and drove off. And when he looked back in the rearview mirror as he drove away, the children were gone. Bethel shared this encounter on the internet, and the story quickly spread. So I'm just reading it all, then we'll discuss it at the end, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So I was like, I don't want to chime in too early.
Yeah, okay. So in the UK in 2014, the Daily Star had 3 front page stories of these children being in a pub in Staffordshire, as well as
Sure.
as well as a story in British Columbia of a man who watched a scary movie at a movie theater, then he went home. Once home, he heard a knock at his door, which, I mean, he just watched a scary movie, so he was a little startled easily anyways, and he headed to the front door. He described a sense of dread washing over him, but something almost compelled him to open the front door against his better judgment. At the door was a tall 16-year-old girl with long blonde hair. The child said, "May I enter the premises?" As she said this, he noticed her eyes, all black. He screamed and slammed the door. He ran and got his gun and sat on his chair watching the door all night long. In the morning, when he went to go get his mail, he noticed the word soon was etched into the front door.
Mm.
You look so confused.
My mind goes very quickly, and it goes down a lot of rabbit holes at the same time. So there's a lot of wheels turning here.
Okay. I have, I think, just one more story. So, a newlywed husband and wife moved to a new city from the Midwest to the from the Midwest from the Midwest to the Southwest so that the husband could attend graduate school. And they were from a small town. So when there was a knock at the door, the husband opened the door right up, not giving it a second thought.
Hmm.
There at the
That's a
door,
Midwestern thing.
"Can I use your microwave?
Yeah. Can I use your microwave?
I
Yeah.
need some
That's.
oil."
I'm not even gonna try that one. That one's bad. That's a rough deal. Lubricant.
What?
I can say that word. I'll just replace that word with lubricant.
Okay. There at the door stood a small teenager. I gotta put my punctuations in here better because I'm confused myself. Surrounding the house was a large gate that the child could not possibly have reached over to open it. The moment he opened the door, he was overcome with a sense of dread. The teenager was dressed in a knee-length black coat with shirt. Huh? The fuck is wrong with my notes? With shirt, black hair. Oh, with short black hair and
Oh.
sunglasses at 6 a.m., mind you. And the child was
Oh.
just standing there eating an apple. He asked the man if he could come in and get warm. The guy was like, "Yeah, no," and quickly closed the door. Before it fully shut, he noticed how the kid shoved his fingers into where the hinges are and asked, "Well, can I at least get some ketchup for my apple?" "Fuck that," the man replied, trying to figure out what was going on. He said, "Get the hell out of here. My wife is calling the police." And the child stood quietly absorbing this information and proceeded to lower his glasses, revealing his jet black eyes, and told the man, "You won't be calling anybody."
Mm.
The guy forced the door closed, locked it, and yelled to his wife that was already hiding. He ran to the windows. He pulled the curtains back to find that there was no sign of the child outside. So he ran outside and still no child. But as he walked back towards the house, he saw the half eaten apple on the ground. Others continued to share stories of encounters with these children. While many circumstances vary, one consistent with encountering these children is the overwhelming sense of dread felt when they're near. Some even describe that while suffering from sleep paralysis, they can see black eyed children sitting in the corner of the room just watching them. No one seems to know exactly what they are, but they've been described as stealthy, manipulative, possibly even shapeshifters or ghosts or demons, maybe vampires. While some say they're a UFO human hybrid, some think that these children are the devil, and if you give them permission to enter, you're giving them permission to enter your life.
Mm.
They're said to have an eerie appearance that's somewhat unnatural. The young age seems to be a tactic they use to let people lower their guard while they're avoiding eye contact. But whatever it is they are is unclear, but I'd strongly advise you not to let them in.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So now that I've rambled, what do you think?
All right. For starters, I got a question on the black eyes.
Yes.
Is it black pupils and iris, or are we talking no whites of the eyes?
No whites at all, just black.
Okay. Screw that shit. Then I've also heard that potentially they are spirits,
Mhm.
on top of maybe being, like, just really fucked up. Um, and with the first encounter, I thought it was a little ironic that there were 3 bangs on the door, and we all know what 3 stands for.
Mhm. It's like mocking the Trinity.
Yeah, demons. So, that I thought was interesting. Um, and then with the second one, when they let them in, there's not there's not as many accounts of that, and I'm wondering if it's because if you let them in, you don't typically survive.
Dead man tell no tales.
I don't know where you go. Yeah, exactly, and just a thought, what if Slender Man are the chauffeurs?
I was thinking Men in Black, but Slender Man, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, Men in Black would make sense too if they were aliens, but I don't see why they would be toting them around. Slender Man is a little bit more ominous.
Hmm.
It might be in cahoots.
Do they travel in pairs?
Like, what if the black-eyed children what if the black-eyed children are their children?
Ooh, Slenderman babies?
Yeah. It could work. It could
That's
work.
interesting. I find it very odd that they need permission to get in.
That's where I was going, like, demon-esque too. And one of my notes that I put on here was, how can people see them during sleep paralysis if they're not inviting them in? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. They might just know of it and maybe like your fears are kind of like, I don't want black eyed children in here. So that's what you see. So that might just be not related
Yeah, true.
because it does seem like they need permission.
And, I mean, they all pretty much well, the one even says, "We can't come in unless you invite us." And I feel like they wouldn't be eating an apple if they're a vampire. I could be wrong, but it doesn't really track. Just a prop.
Huh.
And this guy from the UK, wow, that came out. This guy from the UK, whew, um, what movie did he watch is what I want to know. Like, was he watching The Ring? Because that would track.
I wonder if I could find out.
And then on top of that, he sees one black-eyed child. And more times than not, you're typically seeing them in pairs or trios.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a bit weird. So I just pulled the skin off my lip and now it's bleeding everywhere.
That's not good. Trying to see if I can find the movie that he saw.
And with the last one, why the hell would you go outside? If something gives you that much of the heebie jeebies, you don't fucking go outside to look. You stay inside. Like, what's wrong with this man?
I was thinking he was doing it just to be like tough in front of his wife, but I mean, he already
True.
has her. So what are you doing
Yeah.
that for?
Maybe to put her mind at ease. Or maybe he just felt like he was going crazy and he wanted to check.
That could be it. Like, did that really just happen?
Yeah,
I don't know why when I was looking that up trying to get that, they keep saying phantom black dog. I don't know what that has to do with black-eyed children.
that is weird.
My son was watching Adventure Time. Do you know that show?
Yeah, but I've not seen it.
Well, he was watching one and it had an episode that was the blank-eyed girls and it was basically the black-eyed children, so they were like parodying it and I thought that was really funny.
That is funny. You're like, I know this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't find it. What he saw. I'm really curious what movie he saw now.
Yeah, because that could have influenced what he was seeing.
Hmm.
And maybe soon as 7 days.
Right? That was a scary movie when that came out. That freaked me out. I watched it at my friend's
Oh, it
house in
freaked
New
me out.
York, and we were sitting, and there was a big window behind us, and like her husband was like knocking on the window and screwing with us, and it got us good.
When did that movie come out? Do you remember? Was it after 2002?
Ring 2002.
Interesting.
Wow. Can you believe it? We're like, you were born in the 1900s. We're so old. 2002
Oh,
feels like yesterday to me, and it's like, nope, you're
oh,
23
try being
years
at work and
off.
someone gives you your birthday and they're like 2008. I'm going, The fuck?
Right?
I'm like, but you're not a child. Like, how is this happening?
I see all those T-shirts that people have made. It has, like, the Oregon Trail wagon, and it
Yeah.
says, like, "Take it easy on me, I was born in the 1900s."
I need one of those. The one I have now, I got for my birthday,
Mhm.
and given our circumstances, it says, "Will burn bridges and sage as needed."
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for mine?
I'm ready.
All right. So I am bringing today my favorite cryptid. So we all kind of know, if anybody knows me, they know my favorite cryptid. And it is found, or I guess it was found in Maryland, specifically the Frederick and Washington counties. Don't ask me where at in Maryland. I'm just gonna say those counties and get a map. I'm not good at geography by any means. But people were reporting that there was a huge winged beast that could only be described as something residing in nightmares that probably terrified the locals and anybody traveling that caught a glimpse of this bad boy. And because of this, it then, gained full traction and became basically lore that came across with German settlers in the 1730s. And it decided to make an in person debut in 1909. And I hate that year
Why?
because it's 1909. 1909.
9. German.
Yeah, that's what I yell at my dog all the time when he's being a jackass. But this creature is Snallygaster.
Yes, Snally.
I love old Snally. Snally is the best.
Not a California condor.
Not a California condor. It is. I mean, it could be. It could be a California condor. Maybe. We'll get into the description here in a moment and we'll very quickly change our mind. But they usually, like originally, it was referred to as the Schnellergeist, which means the quick spirit or the quick ghost. And that's what the German settlers called it when they came over. And it's said to appear as half reptile and half bird, which is a very odd combination of two things. Its large noggin displayed a long, pointed metallic beak lined with razor sharp teeth. The feet were sporting very long, hook shaped claws that appeared to be made out of steel like material. Occasionally, the monstrosity is described as having tentacles like an octopus, but it doesn't really say where the tentacles come out from. And depending on which depiction you view, they're either spewing out of its mouth, coming out of the bottom of it, coming out of the top of it. Like you can't, there's really no good consistent view of where these things are coming out of. Either way, it's gross. One witness claimed that the beast was 20 feet, which is about 6 meters long, and was keeping itself afloat with two massive wings. Again, if you look at the depictions, some of them have very large wings. Some of them, it's kind of funny because they're like wings that are way too small for its body. And those ones are also hysterical. And in one instance, it was even described as having one cycloptic eye in the center of its forehead.
Ugh.
And seriously, Google this thing. It's hysterical. So then we actually have a couple eyewitness accounts that kind of give a little bit more information. One is Charles Martin and Edward Leiter, and they claim to have seen the creature from about 25 feet, which is about 7.5 meters away from and confirmed, oh my goodness, away, and confirmed the description from the previous week's sighting. So there was two sightings that both had the same description. On the few occasions that it was reported to have emitted a sound compared to a loud train whistle. So I'm assuming it'd be you can hear it before you can see it situation,
Mhm.
which I'm not sure if that's worse or better, but it is what it is. And allegedly, Snally's MO was to swoop down in silence, stealing farm animals and small children from unexpecting townsfolk and suck the blood from their defenseless bodies. So pure exsanguination. I
Wow.
could totally say that word. And in an attempt to divert the Snallygaster away from the tempting blood sacks, 7-pointed stars were painted on local barns to keep the monster away. And if you drive around those counties, you can still see they put these things up on their barns and paint them for safety, which I think is so crazy that you can still see them. But I feel like it's not as creepy as it sounds, in my opinion. They do have enemies, and one is called, like, the big one is the, oh my gosh, the Dueo. And it is a biped that resembles a wolf but stands like a human. So we're talking like Dog Man back in the day before Dog Man was a thing. And I think that I probably need to put that in an episode on its own at some point. But so you have flying bird dragon, is whether dragon reptile or bird reptile, whatever way. And then you have bipedal wolf as its mortal enemy.
I wonder if like the things that come out of either his mouth or the hemorrhoid things that come out of the other end, that if it grabs onto that and that's part of the reason why, because he thinks it's a chew toy.
Oh, that would be kind of funny to watch.
Be kind of gross, but yeah.
It would be gross, but it'd be funny. I'm still down with it. And my thing is, so February of this year, the blood, well, not this year, of that year, 1909, the bloodthirsty beast is said to have snatched up a man. He sank it says, sank its teeth into his jugular, exsanguinated him, and then just ditched him on a hillside. Swooped him up, drained him dry, and then just dropped him like a juice box.
That's not funny, but you said like a juice
I
box.
think it's pretty funny. I'm not sure if I would count that necessarily as a sighting because, I mean, I don't know. Anything could have happened to this man, and they just found a body and blamed Snally. Unsure, yet to be determined. However, they did shoot the poor thing because there were some people that saw him down at Lover's Leap, that was south of Middletown, I guess technically. And so they see it and they shoot it, right? And they said that it's even been observed soaring back and forth, appearing to have the capability to manipulate its color, size, and shape on demand. So then how the hell do you know what it really looks like?
Yeah. That's too much.
Yep. But then another thing I thought was crazy. So all the way down, well, I guess it's not all the way down, but in West Virginia, a resident there said that they found a Snallygaster roosting in their barn that laid an egg the size of a barrel. Like, so they walk in their barn and Snally's just roosting up in their barn and like keeping warm this egg that's the size of a freaking barrel. And then on top of that, Maryland's first reported close encounter, a man stumbled across the sleeping monster near a brick burning kiln. Upon acknowledging its cover was blown, the beast let out an ear-piercing screech and flew away, probably all pissed off, which I would be too if they woke me up from a nap. So far we have the barn. We've got a guy who was out checking his kiln, and he sees this damn thing just snoozing, scares it, it freaks out and takes off. Then again, we have the Lover's Leap, where they shoot the thing, and they say that there was another egg laying in that area. And then at the same time they found the secondary egg in this other location, there were more reports off and on about seeing it flying around the area, which would make sense if it's got an egg chilling. But everybody got involved. This is the Smithsonian Institution even offered a reward for the hide of the creature. So if you could catch it, skin it, and bring in the hide, they would reward you. Apparently, catch and release was not a thing. Then even President Teddy Roosevelt supposedly considered canceling his scheduled safari to hunt for the beast in the area, which I thought was pretty crazy because that's a man's man who likes a good hunting trip. And then the last one was in March of the same year. So then in 1909 in March, it was it was duking it out with 3 men outside a railroad station for almost an hour and a half before it finally took off towards the woods of Carroll County. There were not any more sightings until 23 years later, and a lot of people just assume that one of the eggs hatched and the original Snally died, and then they didn't see the other Snally until the other one grew. Like it grew up and then they saw it. But the poor thing, they said, died in Washington County when it plummeted from the sky into a 2,500-gallon vat of alcohol whose attractive fumes had caused it to descend and fall in. Revenue agents came to the location where it drowned and claimed to have destroyed the vat, the carcass, and conveniently any other evidence of the creature that may have been able to shed some light on the elusive cryptid. So now, thanks to government employees per the norm, we will never have physical evidence of the haggard-ass looking monster that they observed. And that is old Snally.
It does sound like minus the tentacles, it sounds like kinda like the Jersey Devil, like, that could be the same thing. But
Well, I thought the Jersey Devil had the horse head.
but it seems like Snally has a lot of different depictions too,
Well, it's got the main depiction, and the rest it just says it could change its color, shape, and size, but it doesn't say into what.
their shape and size.
Yeah, I know, right? So, like, every descriptive factor
I
that you
could
could
just
come up
change
with,
everything about
everything
myself,
about
but
me. Yeah.
that's it. So, if all
Oh,
these eggs were found, where are the shells? There was no shells found in the barn or anywhere else?
well, we don't know what kind of. I mean, if you hatch and you're that big old thing, you might have just crushed it all in there. Might not even have known it was shells.
But the size of the shell, I feel like they would have found something.
But imagine how many omelets you could make.
Oh, it would be breakfast for the town. Be like, bring your 7-star
That's what I was
and
gonna say.
scoop
You
it
eat the
on
whole
there.
town breakfast. We are on the same page. Like we are literally like you have like a buffet line, like a
Mhm.
town picnic. I love how we're on the exact same page. This is great.
And it kind of sounds like a dinosaur almost too.
So it does. So my favorite depiction of Snally is the one minus the wings. I wish they would change the wings, although it is hysterical. Where it's got this like long tail, like a lizard. It does kind of look like a dinosaur or a dragon. And it's got feathers and it's got the one cyclopic eye, and then it's got the beak, and the tentacles are all coming out. And then it's got the little baby wings. That's my favorite one. But my thing is, what if the tentacles come out of its mouth and maybe it changes size and shape because it could turn itself inside out? And the tentacles are the process in which it does so.
Uh. So the tentacles like push your skin back and flip it inside out.
Yeah, like it
Uh.
folds you the other direction, and all of a sudden you're like a giant octopus or something. Or what if it's a proboscis or whatever those things are called that like mosquitoes got? I think it's a
Mhm.
mosquito or like an anteater tongue, where it's like, yeah, that's so gross to think about that.
But then that wouldn't explain the guy unless that guy that got killed on the mountain was just something completely different.
And how would there's, but that would explain the sucking the blood out thing. It'd have to come through the tentacles because if it's got a beak and razor sharp teeth, you're not going to be able to suck it. That sounds, I don't know how else to say it. Jeez
But
Louise.
there'd be so many other reports. It wouldn't just be like this one person I'm going to get. When I looked into him a while ago, it was a lot like him being a cautionary tale. You know what I mean? Like more something made up just to stop people from, I forget what it was they were stopping him from doing, but
Yeah, but what would they be doing that would need that?
like stay out of the woods or Snally will suck your blood.
What if they smuggled an egg across on a ship in Germany
Germany has some weird creatures
and
and
the egg
lores.
hatched when they got over here?
And then what?
Maybe.
They're asexual because they'd have to have two of them to
Well, I mean,
reproduce.
frogs, is it frogs? Frogs can do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I think
if
so.
they don't need a mate and they're reproducing baby
I mean, how
Snallies,
would we know? We didn't get a body because they disposed of it conveniently.
the thing was drunk and then they took him away.
No, this one, it fell in the vat and drowned in the vat, and they caught it on fire.
In the alcohol.
Yeah, and they caught it on fire to get rid of the evidence.
That's so messed up. They could have just left him.
Yeah. My thing is, then how would it take care of itself?
Imagine him being in the Smithsonian, like if they had a skeleton or something of him. That
Mm,
would be kind of cool.
it's probably hidden in the Vatican like everything else.
I know. Imagine going down
We're
there
not
one
even
day
going to
and
get into
seeing
that
everything
rabbit
they
hole.
have. I know. I know. I have so many
But
things that
yeah.
popped into my head because you said Vatican, like all those mirrors and stuff they're supposed to
Hmm.
have.
The
We gotta
coronavisor.
we gotta do all those. Those are all episodes we have to do.
But do we? That's where the fine line goes in between my two areas.
Really? They're so fun.
I could probably sprinkle a few in.
Okay.
Or I could just use the research for both. Who, I don't know. Unless you listen to both our podcasts. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just on your other podcast, I'd just
Yeah.
have me on because I want to talk about
Oh,
that
yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
That stuff is just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Say we'll go with stuff that I got to get some conspiracies going. I've got one coming out.
Oh, so I was at the Cryptid Fest a few weeks ago, and she had a conspiracy book and she's like, I forgot to ask you ahead of time to think of your best conspiracy. And I drew a blank and wrote down the worst conspiracy in the
Oh
world.
God. Which one did you write down?
I just watched a TikTok on the
Oh God.
Trisha Paytas or whatever, and every time she has a baby, someone famous dies, which is like the worst conspiracy to ever think of to write down in a book. I
That
wish
is
I could
pretty
erase
bad.
it.
I'd
No,
love to make you
I
feel better,
couldn't
but that's
think.
pretty bad.
I just went blank.
Mine is Project Sunshine.
Oh, that's a good one. See, I know so many, but my brain just shut
She got
down.
stage fright. Stage fright.
Yeah, and I was like, "Well, what did you write?" And she was like, "Oh, there's a Mountain Dew conspiracy." I'm like, "Mountain Dew?
Yes.
I've never heard of that." "Oh, you know about it." "I've never
Yeah,
heard
it's
of
like
that."
every time a new flavor comes out, something happens.
Yes. I've never heard that. That's such a good one. Oh,
Yeah. I haven't dug into it a whole lot. I just know the basis.
yeah, I love a good conspiracy.
So, what do you think, Melissa? Cryptid or crap?
You're not gonna like my answer. I think it's crap.
Ah,
I think it's more like
boo.
propaganda, but I know you love him, so I
I
want to
do
believe
love
in him,
him.
but I just that's a really tough one to believe.
I would have him as a pet.
I know you I could see you with a Snally
If you
tattoo
had a Snallygaster, would you ride it around? I'm not gonna lie, I have considered
if
it.
the tentacles would stay where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Hmm. How long are these tentacles? Oh boy. Um, so and back to yours. What would you do? What would you do if someone knocked on your door and you like peek out your window and it's just like random kids? Even if you don't see the black eyes first, like would you be suspicious?
See, it depends on the circumstance, like,
Say it's the middle of the night, you hear a knock on the door, and there's two kids
well, was there
outside
like
your
a carnival down the street earlier in the day? Then I'd be more
just
apt
a
to be like,
regular day.
"Oh, let me," but if nobody and I don't know the kids because I know all the kids in my area,
Mm,
I
good
could
point.
see myself calling police to help them, but I don't know about letting them inside in the middle of the night. I might be chatting with them through my Ring camera, like,
That's
"Hey,
what
have a
I have a Ring
seat.
camera, so I'd be like, "Excuse me, sir and madam, what are you doing on my porch?"
Can I have ketchup for your apple?"
I
Nope.
mean, some people do eat ketchup on weird stuff, though.
But a lot of the kids too have been reported being like, "Can I use your telegraph?" Like they don't quite know how to
Oh,
say telephone, which is exactly your reaction.
oh.
Oh, like, sir, you're in the wrong century.
And you say outdated clothes, and I'm thinking like Little House on the Prairie type shit. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. Or like have what are those Italian shoes? I can't even think what I'm trying to say. Like whatever, like
Loafers?
penny loafers, or there was another name I was thinking of, but yeah, just like things that are not in fashion now and would
They
have
look like they
been.
belong in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, like they read a magazine from like
I
the
might let those ones in. I might let those ones in. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be like, you know what? You got class, man. You got class. Well, and then how do you not see? I mean, do they just always wear sunglasses or a hat? Or like, how do you not see their eyes until later? What if there's like a mesmer?
Ooh. Yeah, because like he said he had a compulsion to open the door. But I was saying with a lot of kids, they're when they're younger, they're kind of awkward when they're talking to adults, so I can see them like looking down or looking away and
Oh,
you not thinking that much about it. Like, "Oh, he's shy."
that's true. That's true.
But the mesmer thing, that's I wonder if that is a thing like that keeps you from looking.
Or it at first lets them appear to be like normal children. And then maybe it wears off. Maybe it only lasts for so long. And then after it wears off, that's when you see the black in their eyes. Maybe.
And then you kick them.
They get a kicking in. Yeah, I'd kick a black eyed kid. Kick them right on down the street, right in their pity loafers. And it's one thing to be in the safety of your house. So you just like close the door and then be good. But you never really hear of them say knocking on the front door being told no and then like knocking on the window or going to the back door. Like it's always like one shot. And then if that doesn't work, they give up.
There's probably so many missing people that these children are responsible for that we're never gonna know.
That's what I'm saying. You let them in, and next thing you know,
But, I mean, they were let in with the elderly couple, but maybe they were like, they're so elderly, but then they gave the husband that sickness.
all right, hold on. What if they are children or were regular children? They got possessed, and that's why their eyes are black. And the reason that you don't hear of missing bodies is because something leaves the old body and goes into the new bodies and manifests itself into the new bodies, like the adults. Because too, don't they usually say like to possess someone, you usually oopsie and invite something in?
So they're looking to possess an older person,
Maybe. I mean, I think they're gonna have more pull.
but then they were like, "Huh, these guys are too old."
Yeah. I'm just saying that that could explain why there's not as many accounts because the kids, I mean, is it still a husk? Do they not remember? They just wake up and they're like, what the hell am I doing here?
Maybe.
Because I feel like there's a TV show, and when you're possessed in the show, maybe it was Supernatural, which I know you haven't seen.
I know.
But I think when they would get possessed, their eyes would like they would open their eyes and their eyes would be all black.
Ugh.
Like when they had the Leviathan that came in.
I know what that is from Fortnite.
Like you knew somebody was taken over. Yeah, like you know what that they've been taken over because their eyes will be black. Like, but they're not black all
Ugh.
the time, I don't think. I think it's like they blink and then they're black. Like they're showing you.
That's horrible. It's like no soul in there whatsoever.
And maybe they need to get in for whatever reason, so they ask nicely, which is why you don't see the blacks of their eyes until you say no. Then they let the black of their eyes show, thinking they're trying to like stiff arm you their way in.
I don't have a gun.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like we have a gun or anything. It's like, what kind of kid even thinks that? And I'm still thrown off by the one that was by herself because most of the time they're not by themselves.
Yeah, and she just wrote soon and left.
And he didn't hear it like scratching into his door. I feel like you'd hear that.
That sounds like an angry ex-girlfriend more than
It
anything
does.
else.
You're gonna get got soon. Um, yeah, I think that pretty much. I mean, I can't think of anything else except for the fact that I know a lot of times people will say that they might be more ghostly than like a creature, is what I've always heard. I also didn't know that they started out in creepypasta.
I've heard more aliens about them that people think they
Yeah,
are.
I guess that makes sense. Aliens makes sense too. Um, but then why would they get in a car and not a spaceship?
Men in black driving them around.
Yeah, but why? What is it? Like some kind of fucked up trick or treat? And you only see the ride show up once. Every other time they vanish.
Can I probe you? No? Okay.
Ah, son of a bitch, I'm in. Come on in, kids. Just you got to morph into adults first. You got to be adults first.
That's their version of trick-or-treating. Probe or treat.
Can you imagine if there was like aliens were among us and there was literally an entire spa that was just like probing?
Ugh.
Some people are into that kind of thing.
Those long, gross fingers. Ugh.
It doesn't have to be fingers that goes in. Okay, it's going downhill fast because I'm not coming up with any reason to rebuttal a probing spa. Aside from that, anyway. But I guess we can go ahead. I mean, we're almost an hour. We can kind of wrap it up. And say, don't forget to check out our social media. I know that we have TikTok, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. We do have a YouTube channel that is not currently housing stuff yet, but it will be in the near future. Um, we're gonna have merch coming, right? We're gonna have merch coming at some point. We're gonna try to get a Patreon page up and running there, and then when that comes out, we'll have more details because we're gonna have multiple tiers in that with different perks. But hopefully, you guys enjoyed the first pilot episode. So now you know what to expect when we swap off. All right. So since that's everything, don't forget to check in next week, and don't forget to
Creep it weird.
Yeah.